Um, Today we will start the lesson A Letter to God. This is the first lesson from the first flight book. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lenko, who knew his field intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. So now the story starts with telling us um, that it, it's a farm, right? And we are introduced with the character Lenko, right? And we get to know that it is Lenko's farm, right? And now, in the first paragraph, we can see it's the description of the entire area there. So, the house, the only one in the entire valley, it is on the crest of a low hill, and from this height, crest means top of the hill, right? Top of a hill. And from this height, one could see the river, and from there you could see the river, the field of ripe corn dotted with flowers that always promised a good harvest. So, in the first few lines, we get to know that there was always the field was good, the soil was so good that every year the harvest was good. Whatever was sown on the field, they would get good crops, right? Now, this year also, everything was ready, everything was done. Only there was a need now for the rains to come, right? And the entire morning, Lenko, who knew his field intimately means clearly, right? Intimately means closely, really? Closely. Had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Now, why this word intimately is used? Because he knew he was a farmer and this was his routine work of farming, and he knew that once there is a good rainfall, check your there is a good rainfall, then there won't be any problem, right? Check your computer screens, all of you. Okay, I'll read the first paragraph. The later on, the next paragraph, I will again just take it up. You concentrate on the first paragraph only, all of you. All right? There is some internet issue here because of the climate. Now, is it clear? Now, I think now it's clear. It's clear now, I think. Yeah. Okay. So, as I told you, is it clear now? Chal. So we are introduced with a farmer here. In the first paragraph, we are introduced with the farmer Lenko, who now knows his field well. It means he knows that once there is rainfall, the field is going to give a good harvest. Now let's see further. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. The woman who was preparing supper replied, Yes, God willing. The older boys were working in the field, while the smaller ones were playing near the house, until the woman called to them all, Come for dinner. It was during the meal that just as, let's see now. See now, now Lenko is very happy. He tells his wife that we are going to get good rainfall, and once we get a good rainfall, it's really a good thing for a farmer. What does a farmer want? He wants the harvest to be good, isn't it? So the woman of the house, she was preparing food, and she said, if God wills, we will get good rainfall, right? And the older children were working on the field, while the smaller were playing near the house. And his wife called, Come inside, I've prepared food, have your food. And while they were having food, let's see now what happens. Just as just as Lenko had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5. Now Lenko, he had predicted means what? He knew what will happen in the future, right? He knew what would happen in the future. So what he said, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching, right? Now, just as Lenko had predicted, means just as Lenko had uh, thought that it is going to be a good rain, the rain started pouring off, right? And you could see big raindrops falling. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. Approaching means coming, right? The air was fresh and sweet. You know how it is when the rain falls, you can smell the sweet smell of the soil, isn't it? Then Lenko went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. He was so happy that he went out just to feel the rain on his body. And when he returned, he said, like to his family, he told that these are not raindrops falling from the sky. They are like coins. The big raindrops are 10-cent pieces. Like they are 10 uh, coins and the little ones are 5. So he was so happy. He was telling that we are going to get good money now. If it rains well, the crop is going to grow well, and in turn, when I sell this, I will get a good income this time. And he was really happy and satisfied with the rain. Let's see then what happens. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. But see now, he was very satisfied. Regarded means to see. Here it means to see. Write down the meaning, all of you. Regarded means see. So he saw the field of ripe corn with its flowers, and he imagined the crop is going to be very good this year. And then draped in a curtain of rain. Draped in a curtain of rain means because of the rainfall. The rainfall was so good that like it was covered in a curtain of rain. It looked like a curtain of rain. But suddenly something happened. Suddenly, a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. Now, suddenly, what happened? There was suddenly a strong wind, and you could see the hailstones falling. You know what are hailstones? Recently, we had rains with hailstones, isn't it? Right? The ice balls, they fall, isn't it? So they looked like silver coins. They were white, so they looked like silver coins. And his children, they ran out to collect those hailstones, which are called frozen pearls here. So they are round, isn't it? The hailstones are round, white in color. So they, in fact, they are like ice. So that's why it is called frozen. Round, they look like pearls, white pearls. Let's see then what happens. It's really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. I hope it passes quickly. It did not pass quickly. What passes quickly means what goes away quickly. Now Lenko is worried. He says now how the weather has suddenly changed bad because the hailstone they are not good for the plants. They are not good for the crops to grow. So he says I hope it passes quickly. Passes quickly means this gets over quickly. But it did not. The climate did not change. For an hour, the hail rained on the house. The hailstones they fell on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. Right? The climate did not change. Actually, he wanted rainfall. But what did he get? Hailstone. There was hailstone everywhere. Not a leaf remained on trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lenko's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his son, a plague of locust would have left more than this. So what he says, Lenko, see you. What happened? Lenko is very sad because what did he see? Not a leaf could be seen clearly. Everything was covered with hailstone. The crop was totally destroyed. The flowers were not seen, they had gone bad. And Lenko's soul was filled with sadness. He was feeling very sad. And when the climate was calm, he went there, stood in the middle of the field, and he told his sons that a plague of locust would have left more than this. It means underline plague or write down plague means large number. Write there plague. Plague means large number, and locust is insect. So a plague of locust would have left more than this means was hailstone has caused a lot of damage. Even if, even if, even if the insects, the insects would have attacked the crops, they would not have done so much damage as the hailstone has done. Right? So what he says, the hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. So he says that the hailstone, they have done so much damage, a lot of damage. Even a plague, a group of insects, locusts, would not have done so much harm to my crop. The hailstones have done a lot of damage. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. That night was sorrowful. That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There's no one who can help us. We'll all go hungry this year. So these were the dialogues in the family, right? Because now everyone was feeling sorry. But let's see now what happens further. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope: help from God. Now, the people who lived in the valley, right? Who lived there, the people who lived on mountains, they have a lot of faith, right? They have faith on God. So, who live in that solitary house? Solitary house means lonely, lonely. So, it was on the cliff, on the mountain. But these people, they had lot of faith in what? God. And they had single hope, and that was the hope from the God. Don't be so upset. Even though this seemed like a total loss, remember, no one dies of hunger. So what Lenko says? Don't be so upset, he tells everyone. Even though this seemed like a total loss, remember, no one dies of hunger means Lenko says that God is not going to keep us hungry. I know this looks like a loss, everything is devastated, but no. He says that have faith in God. God is not going to keep us hungry. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. All through the night, Elenko thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything. So, what he says, God's eyes, they see everything. And he had been instructed means Lenko had been instructed means told maybe by his parents or maybe by his ancestors, right? Lenko was an ox of a man, working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to ride. Lenko was a very strong man, a farmer who worked hard on the field, but he knew to ride also. Okay? Now see, there is also a phrase God previously, Lenko thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. So, conscience, the meaning is written there itself, an inner sense of right and wrong. Okay? So, God knows what is in your mind, even if you don't tell to people, right? So God knows everything, he says. What is inside the human being's heart and what is outside. What is his condition outside. He knows everything. God knows everything. That's what Lenko believed. He was a very strong man. He was a farmer. He worked on fields. He also knew how to write. The following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter, which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. So, that Sunday, what he did, he decided to write a letter to God. He had so much faith, isn't it? We have people even now, even in our surroundings, right? In our family also, who have deep faith in God. Deep faith in God. So, these people, they survive because of that trust in God. And sometimes that trust, that faith in God helps them to come out of the problem quickly. So here you can see in the same way, Lenko, he decided to tell his problems to God. And in the letter he writes, God, if you don't help me, my family, and I will go hungry this year, I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes because the hailstorm. Now, peso means, you can see, it's a Latin American currency, isn't it? So he decided to write a letter to God and tell his problems to God. And how much did he demand? 100 pesos, right? And why did he need 100 pesos? To sow his field until he gets the crops. And he wants money to feed his family as well. He wrote to God on the envelope, and on the envelope, what did he write? To God. And he put the letter inside. Still troubled, went to the town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. So he went to the post office and he posted the letter. Alright? He also put the stamp on the letter. So properly he followed the entire procedure of posting the letter, sending the mail, isn't it? He wrote the letter, put it in the envelope. Above it, he wrote on the envelope, he wrote to God, and he stamped also on the letter, right? And dropped it into the mailbox. Let's see now what happens later. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss, laughing heartily, and showed him the letter to God. So the postman got this letter to deliver it, right? So he was surprised to see this, that somebody had written letter to God. So he took that letter and went to his boss in the post office and laughed and showed him the letter. Never in his career as a postman he had got the letter which was addressed to God. Now the postman's boss, that is the postmaster, he was a fat amiable. Amiable means it's given there, friendly. Friendly person, friendly fellow, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing. But almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter, starting up a correspondence with God." So the postmaster, though he laughed, he was a nice human being. He was really, he turned serious means he really admired Lenko's faith in God, right? And he tapped the letter on the desk and he thought and he said, this man, he has a lot of faith in God and I really admire him, right? What a faith! And he said, I wish I had such strong faith in God when I had have problems. Starting up a correspondence with God. Correspondence means written communication. So even I don't have such faith in God that I would ever do this, writing a letter to God. Okay? So correspondence means written communication with God here. So, in order to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. Answer the letter. See now, in order to shake the writer's faith in, not to shake the writer's faith in God. See here, the postmaster knew that this letter can't be sent to God. But he was really impressed by Lenko's faith. So he decided that I will write the answer. I will write back and send this letter as the letter from God to Lenko. so that Lenko's faith in God remains. So the postmaster says, I'll open the letter, I'll read what is there inside, and I will answer this person, and I will send the letter so that the person who has sent this letter has his faith in God. But when he opened the letter, it was evident. Evident means it was clear that to answer to answer the letter, to reply, he also needed some more things. It needed some more than goodwill, ink and paper. Goodwill means here it means kindness. Goodwill here it means kindness. So besides goodwill, ink and paper, he also needed something else. Who? The postmaster to reply. What? Money, of course, because Lenko had demanded money in the letter, no? Let's see. But he stuck to his resolution. Who stuck to his resolution? The postmaster. He did not change his plan of replying to Lenko's letter when he read inside about the money. Right? So resolution means his decision. Yeah. Resolution means decision. So what he did, how did he arrange money? He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. Right? So he himself gave money. He asked his employees also. He collected money. From where he collected money, he took some money from his employees. A little bit he also contributed from his salary. And he asked his friends also to give money. Though some of his friends hesitated, but forcefully they gave him. Right? Obliged here it means they were forced. So, but finally he could manage some money, not 100 pesos. Let's see. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos. So he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lenko and uh, with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. Right? Okay. So what happened? He collected money and he could only manage 70 pesos. So he took 70 pesos and he put them in the letter, in the envelope, along with the letter. And what was written in the letter? Only God. That means Lenko should feel this money is sent by God. He did not write anything in the letter. So he was a good and nice person, kind person who really wanted to do an act of kindness. Let's see now further. The following Sunday, Lenko came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was a postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. So Nelenko came back for the letter to inquire about the letter in the post office. That time the postman gave him the letter, and from far away the postmaster, he was experiencing the satisfaction. He was standing there to see the satisfied look of Lenko's face and feel happy. The postmaster did not go and tell him that I have given you money, but he was standing there and he wanted to see the expression of Lenko's face, that he will be happy. Contentment means satisfaction, right? Let's see now. Lenko showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence, but he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lenko what he had requested. So did not show any surprise seeing money in the envelope because he had too much faith, right? A lot of faith in God and he believed that God really could send him money. He counted the money and he looked angry and he thought that God would not make a mistake. Why would God send him 70 pesos instead of 100? Let's see further. It's given. Immediately, Lenko went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. And on the public writing table, there only in the post office itself, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. So what he was writing, he was upset. Whatever he wrote, that was reflected on his face, that he was not satisfied and he was writing something that wasn't satisfactory. Right? So that could be seen. So that this line C, with much wrinkling of his brow. So he looked upset because of that expression on his face. When we are angry, what we do? We just, our forehead also wrinkles, our brow also wrinkles, isn't it? So when he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp which he licked and then affixed to the envelope. Now see, he went to the window and he took the stamp in the post office. He licked that to stick it on the envelope with a blow of his fist. So he licked the stamp and with his fist he stuck it on the envelope. So he beat hard on the stamp so that the stamp sticks on the envelope with his fist. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. It said, now, immediately when Lenko went away, the postmaster, he wanted to see what Lenko had written, whether he had written thank you or whatever it is, because the postmaster did not know what was written in the letter, right? So he took the letter, and what did the letter say? Let's see. God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very much. But don't to send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. He says that God, I had asked 100 pesos and you have sent 70 pesos. I know you must have sent 100 pesos only, and these post office people, they look so dishonest, they look crooks, they look dishonest. They only must have taken the remaining amount. So don't send it through post office, send directly to my house. Look at his faith, right? Yes, look at his faith, isn't it? So strong faith he has. He believes that God has sent and these people are only dishonest. Now, there in this lesson, it ends with a humor also, and then you also feel bad for the postmaster as well, because he was so kind and he really thought of doing an act of kindness, but it was like, it's an irony here, like the opposite thing happened. Here we learn two lessons in this lesson. See, one is Lenko's faith in God, because it's really important in hard times that you have faith in God. That is one lesson. But also the other lesson, now you can question here that whether the postmaster's kindness was repaid. That also is a thing to be thought for. So if you do an act of kindness, it is also necessary that you don't expect also from others. You need to do act of kindness without even thinking what you will get in return. Okay? So very nice, funny lesson. All right?